Hello. Just checking something real quick. Whether nobody's currently on. Yes, I am currently live. I am aware. Let me just. I'm finally figuring out how live streaming works, kind of. So, yeah. Now let me just. Let me see. Oh, okay. Go here, go here. All right, and then copy that. Go here, and there we go. There we go. Okay, that's just not funny. All right. And now I'm all set. I will figure this out later. Yeah. All right. There's one person waiting. Oh well. All right. So let's get down to some homework. I know that it is Columbus Day weekend, but that don't mean we can't get started on our homework. And as I said with last week, today, when I'm reading, I'm actually going to be reading the book aloud. If y'alls don't want me to do that, let me know. I'm just trying out new things. Because the book that I am reading for class is Norton Field Guide to Writing, and it could be distracting if you're trying to do homework as well. So, just let me know if I should not read while I'm streaming. When you need to do research, it's sometimes tempting to jump in and start looking for information right away. However, doing research is complex and time consuming. Research based writing projects usually require you to follow several steps. You need to come up with a topic, or to analyze the requirements of an assigned topic, and come up with a research question to guide your research efforts. Once you do some serious, focused research to find the information you need, you'll be ready to turn your research question into a tentative thesis and sketch out a rough outline. After doing whatever additional research you need to fill in your outline, you'll write a draft and get some response to that draft. You may then do additional research before revising. Once you revise, you'll need to edit and proofread. In other words, there's a lot to do. You need a schedule. Establishing a schedule and getting started. A good place to start a research project is by creating a timeline for getting all this work done, perhaps using the form on the next page. Once you have a schedule, you can get started. The sections that follow offer advice on considering the rhetorical situation, coming up with a topic, and doing preliminary research, developing your research question, a tentative thesis, and a rough outline, and creating a working bibliography and keeping track of your sources. The chapters that follow offer guidelines for finding sources, evaluating sources, and synthesizing ideas. Okay. Considering the rhetorical situation. As with any writing task, you need to start by considering your purpose, your audience, and the rest of the rhetorical situation. Purpose. Is this project part of an assignment? And if so, does it specify any one purpose? If not, what is your broad purpose? To inform, argue, analyze? A combination. To whom are you writing? What does your audience likely know about your topic? Is there any background information you need to provide? What opinions or attitudes do your readers likely hold? What kinds of evidence do they find persuasive? How do you want them to respond to your writing? Genre. Are you writing a report on something? To compose a profile? To make a proposal? An argument? What are the requirements of your genre in terms of the number and kind of sources you must use? Stance. What is your attitude toward your topic? What accounts for your attitude? What do you want to come across? Curious? How do you want to come across? Curious? Critical? Positive? Something else? Media and design. What medium or media will you take? Print? Spoken? Electronic? Will you need to create any charts, photographs, video, presentation software slides, or other visuals? Coming up with a topic. If you need to choose a topic, consider your interests as they relate to the course for which you're writing. What do you want to learn about? What do you have questions about? What topics from the course have you found intriguing? What community, national or global issues do you care about? Once you've thought about a potential topic, use the questions in Chapter 27, Writing as Inquiry, to explore it and find an angle on it that you can write about and want to. If your topic is assigned, you need to make sure that you understand exactly what it asks you to do. Read the assignment carefully, looking for key words. Does it ask you to analyze, compare, evaluate, summarize, or argue? If the assignment offers broad guidelines but allows you to choose within them, identify the requirements and the range of possible topics and define your topic within those constraints. For example, in an American history course, your instructor might ask you to discuss social effects of the Civil War. Potential but broad topics might include poverty among Confederate soldiers or former slaveholders, the migration of members of those groups to Mexico or northern cities, the establishment of the African American churches, or the spread of the Ku Klux Klan, to name just a few of the possibilities. Think about what you know about the topic. Chances are you already know something about the topic. Articulating that knowledge can help you see possible ways to focus your topic or come up with potential sources of information. Free writing, listening, clustering, and looping are all good ways of tapping your knowledge of your topic. Consider where you might find information about it. Have you read about it in a textbook? Heard stories about it on the news? Visited websites focused on it? Do you know anyone who knows about this topic? Narrow the topic. As you consider possible topics, look for ways to narrow your topic's focus to make it specific enough to discuss in depth. For example, too general, fracking. Still too general, fracking and the environment. A better topic is the potential environmental effects of extracting natural gas through the process of hydraulic fracking or fracturing. If you limit your topic, you can address it with specific information that you'll be more easily able to find and manage. In addition, a limited topic will be more likely to interest your audience than a broad topic that forces you to use abstract general statements. For example, it's much harder to write well about the environment than it is to address a topic that explores a single environmental issue. Sorry. Consulting with librarians, doing preliminary research. Consulting with a reference librarian at your school and doing some pl- preliminary research, at the library can save you time in the long run. Reference librarians can direct you to the best scholarly sources for your topic and help you focus your topic by determining appropriate search terms and keywords, significant words that appear in the title, abstract, or text of potential sources that you can use to search for information on your topic in library catalogs, in databases, and on the web. These librarians can also help you choose the most appropriate reference works, sources that provide general overviews of the scholarship and in a field. General internet searches can be time consuming, and they often result in thousands of possible sites, too many to weed out efficiently, either by revising your search terms or by going through the sites themselves, many of which are unreliable. Library databases, on the other hand, include only sources that have already been selected by experts, and searches in them usually present manageable numbers of results. Wikipedia can often serve as a jumping-off point for preliminary research, but since its entries are written and edited by people who may not have expertise in the subject, it isn't considered a reliable academic source. Specialized encyclopedias, however, usually present subjects in much greater depth and provide more scholarly references that might suggest starting points for your research. Even if you know a lot about the subject, doing preliminary research can open you to new ways of seeing and approaching it, increasing your options and developing and narrowing your topic. Coming up with a research question. Once you've surveyed the territory of your topic, you'll likely find that your understanding of the topic has become broader and deeper. You may find that your interests have changed and your research has led to surprises and additional research. That's okay. As a result of exploring avenues you haven't anticipated, you may well come up with a better topic than the one you started with. At some point, though, you need to develop a research question, a specific question that you will then work to answer through your research. To write a research question, review your analysis of the rhetorical situation. To remind yourself of any time constraints or length considerations. Generate a list of questions beginning with what, when, where, who, how, why, could, and should. Here are some examples of such questions. About the tentative topic, the potential environmental effects of extracting natural gas through the process of hydraulic fracturing or fracking. What are the environmental effects? When was fracking introduced as a way to produce natural gas? Where is fracking done, and how does this affect the surrounding people and environment? Who will benefit from increased fracking? How much energy does fracking use? Why do some environmental groups oppose fracking? Would other methods of extracting natural gas be safer? Could fracking cause earthquakes? Should fracking be expanded, regulated, or banned? Select one question from the list that you find interesting that suits your rhetorical situation, and then use that question for your research. Drafting a tentative thesis. Once your research has led to a possible answer to your research question, try formulating that answer as a tentative thesis. You need not to be committed to the thesis. In fact, you shouldn't be. The object of your research should be to learn about your topic, not to find information that simply supports what you already think you believe. Your tentative thesis may and probably will change as you learn more about the subject. Consider the many points of view on it, and reconsider your topic and perhaps your goal of what you originally planned. to be an argument for considering other points of view may become call to action. However tentative, a thesis allows you to move forward by clarifying your purpose for doing research. Here are some tentative thesis statements on the topic of fracking. Fracking is likely a cause of earthquakes in otherwise seismically stable regions of the country. The federal government should strictly regulate the production of natural gas by fracking. Fracking can greatly increase our supplies of natural gas, but other methods of producing energy should still be pursued. With a research question, a tentative thesis should guide your research efforts, but be ready to revise it as you learn still more about your topic. Research should be a process of inquiry, in which you approach your topic with an open mind, ready to learn and possibly change. If you hold too tightly to a tentative thesis, you risk focusing only on evidence that supports your view, making your writing biased and unconvincing. Creating a rough outline. After you've created a tentative thesis, write out a rough outline for your research project. Your outline can be a simple list of topics you want to explore, something that will help you structure your research efforts and organize your notes and other materials. As you read your sources, you can use the outline to keep track of what you need to find where the information and where the information you do find fits into your argument. Then you'll be able to see if you've covered all the ideas that you intended to explore, or whether you need to rethink the categories in your outline. Keeping a working bibliography. In a working bibliography is a record of all the sources you consult. You should keep such a record that you find sources easily when you need them and cite any that you use. Your library likely offers tools to store source information you find in its databases and catalog, and software such as Zotero or EasyBib, and can also help you save, manage, and cite your sources. You may find it helpful to print out bibliographical data you find useful, or to keep working bibliography on index cards or in a notebook. However you decide to compile your working bibliography, include all the information you'll need later to document any sources you use. Follow the documentation style you'll use when you write, so that you won't need to go back to your sources to find the information. Some databases make this step easy by preparing rough draft citations in several styles that you can copy, paste, and edit. On the previous page is most of the basic information you'll want to include for each source in your working bibliography. Go to www.norton.com/write/field guide for templates so you can use to keep track of this information. And then it lists, like for a book, library call number, authors, editors, title, subtitle, publication information, other information about like what book of the series it is, and then if it's in an essay, in a collection, include the author, title, and page number. From a database, publication, name, digital object identifier or URL, stable URL or permalink, and date you accessed, article in print or periodical, authors, title, subtitle, name of periodical, volume number, issue number, and date, and how many page numbers it took. For a website, URL, author, editor if available, the name of the site, what sponsors the site that it was last updated or first ported, the day you accessed the site, and if it's available in an article or book, then include that title as well. All right. Keeping track of sources. Staple together photocopies and printouts. It's easy for individual pages to get shuffled or lost in a desk or backpack. Keep a stapler handy and fasten and fasten pages together as soon as you copy them or print them out. Bookmark web sources, or save them using a free bookmark management tool available through several library databases. For database sources, use the DOI or stable URL permalink or document URL. The terms used by databases vary. Not the URL in the address or location box in your browser, which will expire after you end your online session. Label everything. Label your copies with the source's author and title. Highlight sections you plan to use. When you sit down to draft, your goal will be to find what you need quickly, so as soon as you decide you might use a source, highlight the paragraphs or sentences that you think you'll use. If your instructor wants copies of your sources to see how you use them, you've got them ready. If you're using PDF copies, you can highlight or add notes using Adobe Reader. Use your rough outline to keep track of what you've got. In the margin, use each highlighted section. Write the number or letter in the outline, division to which the section corresponds. It's a good idea to write in the same place consistently so you can flip through a stack of copies easily and see what you've got. Alternatively, attach sticky notes to each copy, using a different color for each main heading in your outline. Keep everything in an online folder, file folder, or box. Keep everything related to your research in one place. If you create online subfolders or create folders that correspond to your rough outline, you'll be able to organize your material, at least tentatively. If you highlight, label, and use sticky notes, your material will be even better organized, making a writing draft easier. The folder or box will also serve you well if you are required to create a portfolio that includes your research, notes, copies of sources, and drafts. Use a reference manager. Web-based reference or citation management software allows you to create and organize a personal database of resources. You can import references from databases to a personal account, organize them, and draft citations in various formats. RoughWorks, EndNote, Mendeley, and Zotero are 4 such systems. Check with your librarian to see what systems your library supports, or search online, as several of them are available for free. Be aware, though, that the citations generated are often inaccurate and need to be checked carefully for content and format, so treat them as rough drafts and plan to edit them. Alright, and then, Finding sources. Chapter 48. To analyze media coverage of the 2016 Democratic National Convention, you examine news stories and blogs published at the time. To write an essay interpreting a poem by Maya Angelou, you study the poem and read several critical interpretations in literary journals. To write a report on career opportunities in psychology, you interview a graduate of your university who is working in a psychology clinic. In each of these cases, you go beyond your own knowledge to consult additional sources of information. This chapter offers guidelines for locating a range of sources, print and online, general and specialized, published and first-hand. Keep in mind that as you do research, finding and evaluating sources are 2 activities that usually take place simultaneously. So this chapter and the next go one hand in hand. And the next one go hand in hand, Kinds of sources. Primary and secondary sources. Your research will likely lead you to both primary and secondary sources. Primary sources include historical documents, literary works, eyewitness accounts, field reports, diaries, letters, and lab studies, as well as any original research you do. Sorry, I'm just adjusting stuff. You do through interviews, observation, experiments, or surveys. Secondary sources include scholarly books and articles, reviews, biographies, textbooks, and other works that interpret or discuss primary sources. Novels and films are primary sources. Articles interpreting them are secondary. The Declaration of Independence is a primary historical document. A historian's description of the events surrounding the Declaration's writing is a secondary. A published report of the scientific findings is primary. A critique of that report is secondary. Whether a work is considered primary or secondary sometimes depends on your topic and purpose. If you're analyzing a poem, a critic's article interpreting the poem is a secondary. But if you're investigating that critic's work, the article would be a primary source for your own study and interpretation. Secondary sources are often useful because they can help you understand and evaluate primary source material. Whenever possible, however, you should find and use primary sources, because secondary sources can distort or misrepresent the information in primary sources. For example, a seemingly reputable secondary source describing the 1948 presidential election asserted that the New York Times ran a headline reading, "Thomas E. Dewey's election as president is a foregone conclusion." But the actual article was titled, "Talk is Now Turning to the Dewey Cabinet," and it began by noting the popular view that Governor Thomas E. Dewey's election as president is a foregone conclusion. Here, the secondary source not only got not only the headline wrong, but also distorted the source's intended meaning by leaving out an important phrase. Your research should be as accurate and reliable as it can be. Using primary sources whenever you can helps ensure that it is. Scholarly and popular sources. Scholarly sources are written by academic experts or scholars in a particular discipline and are peer-reviewed, educated, evaluated by other experts in the same discipline for their factual accuracy and lack of bias. They are also written largely for experts in the discipline, and as a means of sharing research, insights, and in-depth analysis with one another. That's why they must meet high standards of accuracy and objectivity and adhere to the discipline's accepted research methods, including its style for documenting sources. Scholarly articles are usually published in academic journals. Scholarly books may be published by university presses or by other academically focused publishers. Popular sources include just about all other online and print publications, from websites to magazines to books written for non-specialists. These sources generally explain or provide opinion on current events or topics of general interest. When they discuss scholarly research, they tend to simplify the concepts and facts, providing definitions, narratives, and examples to make them understandable to non-specialist audiences. They are often written by journalists or other professional writers who may specialize in a particular area or comment on this. Who may specialize in a particular area, but who report or comment on the scholarship of others rather than doing any themselves. The most important difference from scholarly sources is that popular sources are not reviewed by other experts in the field being discussed, although editors or fact-checkers review the writing before it's published. In most of your college courses, you'll be expected to rely primarily on scholarly sources rather than popular ones. However, if you're writing about a very current topic or need to provide background information on a topic, a mix of scholarly and popular sources may be appropriate. To see how scholarly and popular sources differ in appearance, look at the documentation map for scholarly journals, page 564, and at the illustrations on pages 492 to 93. Here is a guide to determine whether or not a potential source is scholarly. Sorry, I just realized reading out loud takes a lot of breath when I'm speaking so deep. Identifying scholarly sources. What to look for. Author. Look for the author's scholarly credentials, including affiliations with academic or other research-oriented institutions. Peer review. Look for a list of reviewers at the front of the journal or on the journal's or publisher's website. If you don't find one, the source is probably not peer-reviewed. Source citations. Look for a detailed list of works cited or references at the Look for a detailed list of works cited or references at the end of the source and citations, either parenthetically within the text or in footnotes or endnotes. Popular sources may include a reference list but seldom cite sources within the text, except in signal phrases. Publisher. Look for publishers that are professional scholarly organizations, such as Modern Language Association or the Organization of American Historians, that are affiliated with universities or colleges, or that have a stated academic mission. Language and content. Look for abstracts, one-paragraph summaries of the contents, at the beginning of articles, and for technical or specialized language and concepts that readers are assumed to be familiar with. Other clues. Look for little or no advertising on websites within the journal, or plain design with few or no illustrations, especially in print sources. And for listing academic databases when you limit your search to academic, peer-reviewed, or scholarly sources. And that shows pictures. Print and online sources. Some sources are available only in print. Some are available only online. But many print sources are also available on the web. You'll find print sources in your school's library, but chances are that many reference books and academic journal articles in your library will also be available online. In general, for academic writing, it's best to try to find most of your online sources through their library's website rather than commercial search sites, which may lead you to unreliable sources and cause you to spend much more time sorting and narrowing search results. Searching in academic libraries. College and university libraries typically offer several ways to search their holdings. Take a look at this search box in the home page for the Houston Community Search Libraries. And then it just kind of shows pictures of it. And this box allows you to search through all the library's holdings at once, an option that may be a good way to get started. You may already know, though, that you need to focus your search on one type of source, such as scholarly articles, leading you to choose the Articles Search tab. That has a picture of it. Right there. It's a little hard to see, but it's describing that. And then, this box lets you shape and limit your search in several ways. By selecting a specific database, by choosing to search for only full-text articles and only peer-reviewed articles, and by searching within a specific journal, Ask a Librarian options can be very useful. Many libraries offer email, texting, chat, and phone conversations with reference librarians when you need help, but aren't in the library. Searching effectively using keywords. Whether you're searching for books, articles and periodicals, or other material available on the web, chances are you'll conduct most of your search online. Most materials produced since the 1980s and most library catalogs are online. Most periodical articles can be found by searching electronic indexes and databases. In each case, you can search for authors, titles, or subjects. To search online, you'll need to come up with keywords. Keywords are significant words that stand for an idea or concept. The key to searching effectively is to use keywords and combinations of them that will focus your searches on the information you need, but not too much of it. Often, you'll start out with one general keyword that will yield far too many results. Then you'll need to switch to more specific terms or combinations. Homeopathy, homeopathy instead of medicine, or secondary education Japan instead of education Japan. Other times, your keyword search won't yield enough sources. Then you'll need to use broader terms or combinations. Education Japan instead of secondary education Japan. Or substitute synonyms. Home remedy instead of folk medicine. Sometimes you'll need to learn terms in academic disciplines or earlier in history for things you know by other names, such as myocardial infarction rather than heart attack, or use Great War instead of World War I. Look through the sources that turn up in response to other terms to see what keywords you might use in subsequent searches. Searching requires flexibility in the words you use and the methods you try. Finding keywords using clouds. One way to find keywords is to help you narrow and focus your topic is to create a word cloud, a visual representation of words used in a text. The more often a word is used, the larger it looks on the word cloud. Several websites, including Tagzetto, Wordle, and TagCrowd, let you create word clouds. Examining a word cloud created from an article in a reference work may help you see what terms are used to discuss your topic, and may help you see how new possible ways to narrow it. Above, for example, is a word cloud derived from an article in Scientific American is a word cloud derived from an article in Scientific American discussing fracking. Many of the terms fracking, water, gas, wells, drilling are just what you'd expect. However, some terms, USGS, Digilvio, coal-fired, may be unfamiliar and lead to additional possibilities for research. For instance, Digilio is the last name of an expert working on fracking whose publications might be worth examining, while USGS is an acronym for United States Geological Survey, a scientific government agency. Finding keywords using databases. Once you've begun searching for and finding possible sources, you can expand your list of possible keywords by skimming the detailed record or metadata page for any scholarly articles you find, where full bibliographic information on the source may be found. A search for fracking resulted in this source. Then it has a picture of the website. Note the list of author-supplied keywords, which offers options for narrowing and focusing your topic. Each keyword is a link, so simply clicking on it will produce a list of news sources. Advanced keyword searching. Most search sites have advanced search options that allow you to help you focus your research. Some allow you to ask questions in conversational language. What did Thomas Jefferson write about? Slavery. Others allow you to focus your research by using specific words or symbols. Here are the most common ones. Type quotation marks around words to search for exact phrase. Thomas Jefferson. Type and to specify that more than one keyword must appear in sources. Jefferson and Adams. Some search engines require a plus sign instead. Plus Jefferson plus Adams. Type or if you're looking for sources that include any of several terms. Jefferson or Adams or Madison. Type not to find sources without a single word. Jefferson, not Adams. Some search engines call for a minus sign, actually a hyphen. Instead, plus Jefferson, minus Adams. Type an asterisk for search words in different form. For example, teach asterisk will yield sources containing teacher and teaching. Reference works. The reference section of your school's library is the place to find encyclopedias, dictionaries, atlases, almanacs, bibliographies, and other reference works in print. Many of these sources are also online and can be accessed from any computer that is connected to the internet. Others are available only in the library. Remember though, oh shit. Remember though, that whether in print or online, or online, reference works are only a starting point, a place where you can get an overview of your topic. General reference works. Consult encyclopedias for general background information on a subject, dictionaries for definitions of works, atlases for maps and geographic data, and almanacs for statistics and other data on current events. These are some works you might consult. The New Encyclopedia Britannica, the Columbia Encyclopedia, Webster's Third New International Dictionary, Oxford English Dictionary, National Geographic Atlas of the World, Statistical Abstract of the United States, the World Almanac, and Book of Facts. Caution: Wikipedia is a popular online research tool, but since anyone can edit its entries, you can't be certain of its accuracy. Use for general overviews, but look elsewhere, including Wikipedia's own references and citations, for authoritative sources. Specialized reference works. You can also go to specialized reference works, which provide in-depth information on a single field or topic. These may also include authoritative bibliographies leading you to more specific works. As a reference librarian referred you to specialized encyclopedias in particular fields, but good places to start are online collections of many topic-specific or reference works that offer overviews as a topic. Place it in a larger context, and sometimes provide links to potential academic sources. Collections that are available through libraries include the following. CQ Researcher offers in-depth reports on topics of education, health, the environment, criminal justice, international affairs, technology, the economy, and social trends. Each report gives an overview of a particular topic, outlines of the differing positions on it, and bibliography of resources on it. Gale Virtual Reference Library offers thousands of full-text specialized encyclopedias, almanacs, articles, and ebooks. Oxford Reference contains hundreds of dictionaries, encyclopedias, and other reference works on a wide variety of subjects, as well as timelines with links to each item mentioned on each timeline. Sage Knowledge includes many encyclopedias and handbooks on topics in the social sciences. Bibliographies. Bibliographies provide an overview of what has been published on a topic, listing published works along with the information you'll need to find each work. Some are annotated, with brief summaries of the work's contents. You'll find bibliographies at the end of scholarly articles and books. You can also find book-length bibliographies both in the reference section of your library and online. Check with a reference librarian for bibliographies on your research topic. One moment, I'm just taking off this shirt. I'm wearing a tank top underneath. It's a little too warm to be wearing that, and I'm not even listening to music. Sorry. I'm not done reading. I still have some more reading. But I was getting uncomfortable. There we go. Alright. There we go. Books. Searching the library catalog. The The library catalog is your primary source for finding books. Almost all library catalogs are computerized and can be accessed through the library's website. You can search by author, title, subject, or keyword. The image below shows the result of keyword search for material on looted art in Nazi Germany. This search of the library catalog revealed 6 items, print, books, and ebooks on the topic. To access information on each one, the researcher must simply click on the title or thumbnail image. The image on the next page shows detailed information for one source, bibliographic data about author, title, and publication, related to subject headings, which may lead to other useful materials in the library, and more. Library catalogs also supply a call number, which identifies the book's location on the shelves. Ebooks and finding them online. Many books in the library catalog are available online. Some may be downloaded to a tablet or mobile device. In addition, thousands of classic works that are in the public domain, no longer protected by copyright, may be read online. Bartleby, Google Books, Open Library, and Project Gutenberg are 4 collections of public domain works. Here are some other sources of ebooks. Hathi, Trust Digital Library, offers access to millions of ebooks without a third of them About a third of them is in public domain, contributed by university libraries. Internet Archive includes millions of ebooks as well as audio, video, music, software, images, and the Wayback Machine, which archives historical web pages. The Gale Virtual Reference Library, Oxford Reference, and Sage Knowledge all contain large ebook collections. Periodicals searching indexes and databases. To find journal, magazine, and newspaper articles, you will need to search periodical indexes and databases. Indexes provide listings of articles organized by topics. Many databases provide full texts. Some indexes are in print and can be found in the reference section of the library. Most are online. Some databases are available for free. Most are the more authoritative ones. However, are available only by subscription and so must be accessed through a library. Many databases now include not only scholarly articles, but also dissertations, theses, book chapters, book reviews, and conference proceedings. Dissertations and theses are formal works of scholarship done as requirements for graduate degrees. Book reviews offer critical evaluations of scholarly and popular books, and conference proceedings are papers presented, usually orally, at scholarly meetings. When you access a source through a database, the URL or link address is different each time you log in. So if you want to return to a source, look for a stable URL, permalink, or document URL option and choose to copy and paste into your list of sources. General indexes and databases. A reference librarian can help you determine which database will be the most helpful to you, but here are some useful ones. Academic Search Complete and Academic Search Primer are multidisciplinary indexes and databases containing the full text of articles and thousands of journals, indexing of even more with abstracts of these articles. First Search offers access to millions of full-text, full-image articles in dozens of databases covering many disciplines. InfoTrack offers millions of full-text articles in a broad spectrum of disciplines and on a wide variety of topics from thousands of scholarly and popular periodicals, including the New York Times. JSTOR archives scanned copies of entire publication runs of scholarly journals in many disciplines, but it may not include current issues of journals. LexisNexis contains full-text publications and articles from a huge number of newspapers and business and legal resources. ProQuest Central provides access to full-text articles from thousands of books, scholarly journals, conference papers, magazines, newspapers, blogs, podcasts, and websites, and a large collection of dissertations and theses. Single subject indexes and databases. The following are just a sample of what's available. Check with a reference librarian for indexes and databases in the subject that you're researching. Oh dear. Sorry. America. History and Life indexes are scholarly literature on the history and culture of the United States and Canada. Biosys Previews provides abstracts and indexes for thousands of sources on a wide variety of biological and medical topics. ERIC in the U.S. Department of Education's Educational Resource Information Center database includes hundreds of journal titles, as well as conference papers, technical reports, and other resources on education. Historical abstracts includes abstracts of articles on the history of the world, excluding the United States and Canada, since 1450. Humanities International Index contains bibliographic references to more than 2,200 journals dealing with the humanities. MLA International Bibliography indexes scholarly articles on modern languages, literature, folklore, and linguistics. Cycle NFO indexes scholarly literature in a number of disciplines relating to the behavioral and social sciences. PubMed includes millions of citations for biomedical literature, many with links to full-text content. Print indexes. You may need to consult print indexes. To find articles published before the 1980s, here are 6 useful ones. The Reader's Guide to Periodical Literature, print, 1990 to today. Online, 1983. 1900 to today, and then online, 1983 to today. InfoTrack Magazine Index, print, 1988 to today. Online, 1973 to today. New York Times Index, print and online, 1851. Humanities Index, print, 1974 to today. Online, 1984 to today. Social Science Index, print, 1974 to today. Online, 1983 to today. General Science Index, print, 1978 to today. Online, 1984 to today. I'm almost done reading. Images, sound, and more. Your library likely subscribes to various databases that allow you to find and download video, audio, and image files. Here is a sampling. AP Images provides access to photographs taken for the Associated Press, the cooperative agency of thousands of newspapers and radio and television stations worldwide. ArtStore provides images in the arts, architecture, humanities, and sciences. Dance in Studio offers hundreds of videos of dance productions and documentaries on dance. Education in Video includes thousands of videos of teaching demonstrations, lectures, documentaries, and footage of students and teachers in their classrooms. Naxos Music Library contains more than 130,000 classical, jazz, and world music recordings, as well as libretti and synopses of hundreds of operas and other background information. Theater and Video provides videos of hundreds of performances of plays, film documentaries. The following indexes and databases are freely available on the Internet. The www Virtual Library is a catalog of websites on a wide range of subjects, compiled by volunteers with expertise in particular subject areas. CSA Discovery Guides provide comprehensive information on current issues in the arts and humanities, natural sciences, social sciences, and technology, with an overview of each subject, key citations with abstracts and links to websites. Voice of the Shuttle, or VOS, offers information on subjects in the humanities, arranged to mirror the way that humanities are organized for research and teaching, as well as the way they are adapting to social, cultural, and technological changes. The Library of Congress offers online access to information in a wide range of subjects, including academic subjects as well as prints, photographs, and government documents. Jurist is a university-based online getaway to authoritative legal instruction, information, scholarship, and news. Searching the web. The web provides access to countless sites containing information posted by governments, educational institutions, organizations, business, and individuals. Such websites are different from other sources, including the kinds of online sources you access through indexes and databases, in two key ways. One, their content varies greatly in its reliability, and two, they are not stable, which means that that what you see on a site today may be different or gone tomorrow. Anyone who wants can post material on the web, so you need to evaluate carefully what you find there to eliminate sources that are not current, lack credibility, or are primarily advertisements or promotional in nature. Because it is so vast and dynamic, finding out what you need on the web for academic writing can be a challenge. The primary way of finding information on the web is with a search site. You may find the most suitable results for academic writing by using Google Scholar, a search site that finds scholarly literature, including peer-reviewed papers, technical reports, and abstracts. Here are other ways of searching the web. Keyword searches. Google, Yahoo, Microsoft Edge, and other search sites all scan the web looking for keywords that you specify. Subject directories. Google, Yahoo, and some other search sites offer directories that arrange information by topics, much like a library cataloging system. Such directories allow you to broaden or narrow your search if you need to. For example, search for birds can be broadened to animals or narrowed to blue-footed booby. Meta searches. Yippee, Dogpile, and ZapMeta are meta search sites that allow you to use several search engines simultaneously. They are best for searching broadly. Use a single site for the most precise results. Twitter searches. In addition to Twitter search, you can find Twitter content through search sites such as Social Mention and Keyhole. Each search site and meta search site has its own protocols for searching. Most have an advanced search option that will help you search more productively. Remember, though, that you will need to be careful about evaluating sources that you find on the web, because the web is unregulated and no one independently verifies the information posted on the sites. Doing field research. Sometimes you need to do your own research, to go beyond the information you find in published sources and gather data by doing field research. 3 kinds of field research that you might want to consider are interviews, observations, and questionnaires. Interviewing experts. Some kinds of writing, a profile of a living person, for instance, almost require you to conduct an interview, and sometimes you just need to find information that you haven't been able to find in published sources. To get first-hand information on the experience of serving as a soldier in Afghanistan, you might interview your cousin, who served a tour of duty there. To find current research on pesticide residues in food, you might need to interview a toxologist. Whatever your goal, you can conduct interviews in person using video calling software such as Skype or FaceTime by telephone, through email, or by mail. In general, you will want to use interviews to find information you can't find elsewhere. Below is some advice on planning and conducting an interview. Once you identify someone you want to interview, email or phone to ask the person, stating your purpose for the interview and what you hope to learn. I hope once you've set up an appointment, send a note or email confirming the time and place you wish to record the interview. Be sure to ask for permission to do so. If you plan to conduct the interview by mail or email, state when you will send questions. Write out questions. Plan questions that invite extended response and supporting details. What accounts for the recent strike in gasoline prices? Forces an explanation. Whereas, is the recent spike in gas prices a direct result of global politics? Is likely to elicit only a yes or no. At the interview, record record the full name of the person you're interviewing, along with the date, time, and place of the interview. You need this information to cite the document and the interview accurately. Take notes, even if you're recording the interview. Keep track of time. Don't take more than you agreed to beforehand, unless both of you agree to keep talking. End by thanking your subject and offering to provide a copy of your final product. After the interview, flesh out your notes with details as soon as possible after the interview, while you still remember them. What did you learn? What surprised you? Summarize both the interviewee's words and your impressions. Make sure you reproduced quotations from the interview accurately and fairly. Avoid editing quotations in ways that distort the speaker's intended meaning. Be sure to send a thank you note or email. Observation. Writing some projects are based on information you get by observing something. For a sociology report, you may observe how students behave in large lectures. For an education course, you may observe one child's progress as a writer over a period of time. The following advice can help you conduct these observations. Before observing, think about your research purpose. What are you looking for? What do you expect to find? How will your presence as an observer affect what you observe? What do you plan to do with what you find? If necessary, set up an appointment. You may need to ask permission of the people you wish to observe and of your school as well. Check with your instructor about your school's policy in the area. Be honest and open about your goals and intentions. College students doing research assignments are often welcomed where others may not be. While observing, if you're taking notes on paper, you may want to divide each page down the middle vertically and write only on the left side of the page, reserving the right side for information you will fill in later. If you're using a laptop, you can set up 2 columns or a split screen. Note descriptive details about the setting. What do you see? What do you hear? Do you smell anything? Get down details about color, shape, size, sound, and so on. Consider photographing or making a sketch of what you see. Who is there and what are they doing? Describe what they look like and make notes about what they say. Note any significant demographic details. What about gender, race, occupation, age, dress, and so on? What is happening? Who's doing what? What's being said? Make note of these kinds of narrative details. After observing, as soon as possible after you complete your observations, use the right side of your notes to fill in gaps and include additional details. Analyze your notes, looking for patterns. Did some things appear or happen more than once? Did anything stand out, surprise or puzzle you? What did you learn? Questionnaires and surveys. Various kinds of questionnaires and surveys can provide information or opinions from a large number of people. For a political science course, you might conduct a survey to ask students who they plan to vote for. Or for a marketing course, you might distribute a questionnaire asking what they think about an advertising campaign. The advice in this section will help you create useful questionnaires and surveys. Define your goal. The goal of a questionnaire or survey should be limited and focused, so that every question will contribute to your research and question. Also, people are more likely to respond to a brief, focused survey. Define your sample. A survey gets responses from a representative sample of the whole group. The answers to these questions will help you define that sample. Who should answer the questions? The people you contact should represent the whole population. For example, if you want to survey the undergraduate students at your school, your sample should reflect your school's enrollment in terms of gender, year, major, age, ethnicity, and so forth as closely as possible. How many people make up a representative sample? In general, the larger your sample, the more the answers will reflect those of the whole group. But if your population is small, 200 students in a history course, for example, your sample must include a large percentage of that group. Decide on a medium. Will you ask questions face-to-face, over the phone, on a website such as SurveyMonkey, by mail, by email? Face-to-face questions work best for simple surveys or for gathering impersonal information. You're more likely to get responses to more personal questions with printed or online questionnaires, which should be neat and easy to read. Phone interviews may require well-thought-out scripts that anticipate possible answers and make it easy to record said answers. Design good questions. The way you ask questions will determine the usefulness of the answers you get, so take care to write questions that are clear and unambiguous. Here are some typical question types. Multiple choice. What is your age? 15 to 20, 21 to 25, 26 to 30, 31 to 35, other. Rating scale. How would you rate the service at the campus bookstore? Excellent, good, fair, or poor? How much do you agree with the following statements? The bookstore has a sufficient number of textbooks available. Strongly agree, to strongly disagree. Staff at the bookstore are knowledgeable and or courteous. Strongly agree, to strongly disagree. Open-ended. How often do you visit the campus bookstore? How can the campus bookstore improve its service? Include all potential alternatives when phrasing questions to avoid biasing the answers, and make sure each question addresses only one issue. For example, bookstore staff are knowledgeable and courteous could lead to the response knowledgeable, agree, courteous, disagree. When arranging questions, place easier ones at the beginning and harder ones near the end. But if the questions seem to fall into different natural order, follow it. Make sure each question asks for information you will need. If a question isn't absolutely necessary, don't ask it. Include an introduction. Start by stating your survey's purpose, how the results will be used. It's also a good idea to offer an estimate of the time needed to complete the questions. Remind participants of your deadline. Test the survey or questionnaire. Make sure your questions elicit the kind of answers you need by asking 3 or 4 people who are part of your target population to answer them. They can help you find unclear instructions, questions that aren't clear or lack the sufficient alternatives, or other problems you should correct to make sure your results are useful. But if you change the questionnaire as a result of your responses, don't include their answers in your total. Alright, so now I am done reading. That took a lot of breath. Well, that's what I get for speaking low. Alright, now I go here. Actually, I'm going to take you and shrink you down. Oh, no. Okay, actually, wait. Bada bing, bada boom. There we go. All right. Now I can't see the thing. So, I want to still be able to see that, so. But there. Alright. Now I can still see the live chat if someone wants to say something. No. Hold up. There we go. No, I want you there. Oh my gosh. No. There we go. Okay. Oh dear. I'm going to pull up a calculator for this. Because I need a calculator for this. Okay. And then take you and I move you. Okay. Now you're a separate tab. And I'm gonna open you. Gonna make you small. Like real small. Gonna move you here. I'm gonna put you there. There we go. Okay. Largest dinosaurs was 88 feet long. Convert this length into meters. Alright, well, meters aren't too hard to convert into feet. Alright, so 88 feet. So 88 feet. That is times 12 to get inches. And then I multiply this by 2.54. And there we go. That is how many centimeters I have. And then divide this by 100. Bada bim, bada boom. To the nearest hundredth, 26.82. Yeah. All right. The height of the adult male is approximately 6 meters. That is very false. It's approximately 2 meters. Like approximately 1.8. Because, yeah, 2.54 inch is in a centimeter. False. There are 2.54 centimeters in an inch. One advantage of the English system, our units are based on power of 10. No, the metric system is like that though. Dimensional analysis uses power of 10 to convert from one unit to another. That is... no. I don't know. I don't know enough about dimensional analysis. That's because we're going to be getting this throughout the week. But that's fine. I'm going to just say true. Okay. Unit fractions. Okay. There we go. 39 inches to feet. Three and a quarter feet. There you go. 21 feet to inches. 252. 33 inches to yards. It's like 0.9 yards. So 33 divided by 12. Yeah. 2.75 divided by 3. 9.92. It says round to the nearest hundredth if needed. 15 yards to inches. My goodness. All right. 15 times 3. That is the amount of feet times 12. 540. All right. 9 yards to feet. That's 36. 27. Oops. It's 27. Well, that's why I have the calculator. All right. 27 feet to yards. That's 9 yards. Okay, 29,310 feet to miles. All right. 29,310 feet divided by 5,280. 5,280. That is 5.55 rounded to the nearest hundredth. All right. 3.6 miles to feet. 3.6 times 5,280 is 19008. All right. 12 yards to centimeters. Oh my god. Okay, so 12 times 3. times 12. And that's how many inches times 2.54. That's how many centimeters. And that's it. Yeah, you just copy. Can I just paste? Oh, thank you. Okay. 75 miles an hour. Oh my god. Okay. 75 miles per hour equals feet per second. Okay. All right. Well, let's see. 75 miles an hour. Is going to make it how many feet per second? How many feet per hour? So 75 times 5,280. That's how many feet per second. 396,000 feet per second. Okay. No, that's feet per hour, not feet per second. Okay. All right. Okay, wait. So it seems this doesn't seem right. That doesn't look right, the unit conversion. But fuck it, I'm gonna go with it. Times 60 times 60. And oh boy, that's a lot of zeros. Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, that is way too many. So, Control Z. Alright, wait, let's just divide by 60. Divide by 60. Oh, no. Divide by 60. And then divide by 60. No. 60. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that's how many feet you go in 1 hour. So I would actually just divide by 60, divide by 60. No, stop. Yeah. No, wait, shit. Fuck. 75. Divided by 60. No, what the? No, stop. No. My computer's being weird. Yeah, 110 feet per second. That looks a bit better. Yeah, like the unit conversion that it was showing was bad. All right. How to use dimensional analysis to convert 20 inches to feet? Multiply 20 inches by that? Yeah, that seems right. That looks very right. Yeah. Multiply 20 inches by 1 foot per 12 inches. Use the table along with dimensional analysis to convert the given square unit. to the square unit indicated. Okay, 1 acre is 0.4 hectares. I have 21.9 hectares. I want to find out how many acres. Okay, so that's easy. So just 21.9 times 0.4. Yeah, because 1 acre is 0.4 of these. Yeah. 8.67. Bam. What the fuck? Use a unit for... What the fuck? I don't know what you want. This is being confusing. Okay. Use the table. Okay. Do I divide by 0.4? That sounds wrong. What the? No. Okay. Point 4. 54.75. Let's try that. Copy. Paste. Is that it? Yep, that's it. I just had to divide. Alright. Didn't seem right, but you know what? Whatever. Excuse me. 16 square inches to centimeters squared. Okay. What the fuck? Oh my god. Stop. This thing's being weird. Okay, so 16 inches squared. One square inch is 6.5 square centimeters? Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. Okay. Okay, so 16. No. So 16 times 6.5. 104. Yeah. All right. And then 17 inches to centimeters. Okay. 43.18 centimeters. Thirty centimeters to inches. 30 divided by 2.54, that's 11.81. Relatively. Okay. 204 miles, 2 kilometers. Okay. So we got 204 times 5280. times 12 times 2.54 divided by 100. No, stop. Divided by 100. Divide that by 1,000. What the fuck? Divide this by 1,000. And that's how many meters I got. Or that's how many kilometers I got from that. Control V, bam. I'm just checking my Snapchat real quick. I'm bored. All right. 213 kilometers is approximately. All right. Well, that's simple. $213 times 1,000, but also it's actually 100,000 centimeters. Divide that by 2.54. Okay. Divide that by 2.54. That's how many centimeters. No, that's how many inches I have. Divide this by 12. No, that was divided by 2. So multiply that by 2. And divide by 12. Okay, that's how many feet we got. And then divide this by 5,000. And 132.35. There we go. What? Really? Okay, it didn't like what I did, so. Whatever. 213 kilometers is approximately how many miles? Alright, fine. 200. Fine. Approximately? You want approximations? Fine. 213 divided by 1.6. Because that is what it's saying the approximation is. 133.125 is approximately how much it is. One, three. There we go. Happy? There we go. Even though it was fucking wrong. Oh well. Sorry, math makes me angry. 20 meters to yards. Okay. Well. Alright, so. Oh, wait. 1 yard is 0.9 meters. Okay, so. There we go. 1. So 20 times 0.9. 18 yards. Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah. 18. No. 1 yard is 0.9 meters. 20 meters, 2 yards. I don't know. You know what? Let's just fucking 20 times 100 divided by 2.54. And then 5 by 3. 21.87. How about that? You like that one? Yeah, you like that one. Okay. Bother me. 14 feet to meters. Well, 1 foot is 30.48 centimeters. So, oh, that's what it says. So, 20 times 30.48. And that's how many centimeters we got. So, 6.1. 6.1 meters. No? No? Okay. Well, alright. Well, that's how many centimeters we have. So divide this by 100. No? Okay. No, I'm just gonna completely ignore that then. So 14 times. Four. 0.27. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna ignore the measurements that it's giving me then. 6 meters to feet. Okay. And that's how many inches, and then divide by 12. 19.69. There we go. Okay. That was pretty simple. So 74 times. That's how many centimeters. And that's how many inches. That's how many feet I have. 45.98, or approximately 50 miles. No, 46 miles an hour. There we go. 60 miles per hour in kilometers per hour. Okay. That's how many centimeters. And 1, 2 centimeters. 96.56. Okay, wait. Okay, so 60 miles an hour, so 60 miles per hour. And so 1 mile. Fine. I'll divide this by 1.6. 37.5. We'll see. Let's multiply it then. 96. There we go. 571.5 centimeters. That's how many yards? No, I don't need fucking microphone. 571 divided by 0.5 divided by 2.54 divided by divided by 12. 6.25. All right. "35 miles is how many kilometers?" Okay, that's how many centimeters. So fine, I will do it how it is listed. "56." I don't know. The units are just out of fucking whack on this. Alright, drag each of these into the appropriate box below, depending on which unit corresponds to the given height. Person's height. Meters. Length. Yeah, that would be a kilometer. Length of a bee, millimeters. Distance from New York City to Washington, D.C. That is definitely kilometers. Perimeter, or distance around the outside of a house. Let's say meters. Oh, actually, football field. Let's just go meter. Length of a car, meter. Width of a book, milli. Altitude of an airplane, kilo. Diameter of a screw, milli. Width of a human foot. No millimeters. Yeah, I got them all right. The taller mountain. Oh shit. Okay, so I don't actually have to change you, but I do have to change you, so 25 1,801. That's how many feet times 12 times 2.54. And then so many centimeters, and then 3. Oh, no, just 1, 2. Okay, so divide by. Okay, and then we take you, we copy you, and then we do 86163 minus u. Minus u. Oh my god. Really? Okay, fine. 8163 minus 786.1448. And so the taller mountain, Monsalu, is taller by approximately 298.86 meters. No, 299 meters. There we go. There we go. Okay. Rainfall. And I'm looking for inches, so I don't have to do that, but I do have to do that. So, let me see. 11777 divided by that's 10 millimeters per centimeter. Yeah. Divided by 10. Divided by 2.54. Minus 457. So Chapunji by approximately 47 each. Look. 60 inches. Oh, I got the 4. 60 inches. There we go. Alright, I can run 4,200 meters in approximately an hour. Well, let's see. 4,200 divided by... No. Times 100, that's how many centimeters. They're running divided by 2.4, that's how many inches they're running. Which, divide that by 12. And then divide that by 5,280. Yeah, 2 miles an hour. You could do it. Alright, so I can run 4,200 meters in approximately an hour. The statement does not make sense because that is a large distance. Makes sense. It's only about that many miles. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I'll say B. You know, someone could run 2 miles in an hour. I mean, it's not very likely by today's standards. But if they know what they're doing, they can. Okay. The accompanying bar graph shows resident population. Okay. Find the population density of the country to the nearest tenth in 1900 and 2000. The population density to the nearest tenth in 1900 fuck. Millions of square miles. People per square mile. Okay. In 1900, what is fucking. Oh, I'd like to say fucking 400. Oh, hey, that's what I needed. I needed the actual numbers. Okay. 1900. Hey, look. 78,606,369 people divided by 2,910,128 is about 27 people. All right. Per square mile in 2000 was. What did I do? Hit backspace, but it said no. In 2000 was 276,585,938 people divided by 3 million, not 3.6 million, not 3,618,733 and about 76.4 people. Yeah, 0.4 of a person doesn't matter. That's not what the question is. The percent increase by population in population density. Jesus. Population density. Okay. So divided by 27 is about 283%. Yeah. I have no idea. I have no idea how to do that. Alright, so 27, I'm at 76. $282.96 no point. So 283%. 283%. Oh, density. Oh, okay. Yeah, these are the densities. So do I do 27 over 76.4? I don't know. Maybe? 3.4%? Great. I don't like this question. No. God. Percent increase population density. $293. Okay, let's just go 193.3. Start by finding the difference. Alright, 81 divided by, no, minus, minus, you fool, divided. $81 minus 27. 53.4. Okay, so 53.4. Let's do fucking, I don't know. Six. $51%? That's not right. What? 7%? I don't fucking know. That's the thing I put first. Oh, what the hell? I don't like math. And it's getting late anyway. Oh well, I just gotta finish this up. No, next question. Swimming pool, there's that much cubic feet. How much gallons of water? You know what? This shit ain't due till next Friday. And it's getting a bit late. I think I'm gonna end the stream here. I'm sorry for my language. Towards the end, I was getting frustrated because of math that I technically haven't even learned yet. We're going over it this week. So, I'm sorry about that. All y'alls have a beautiful day, and I will see you next week. Yes.